Hello everybody, my name is Samantha Duvall and my strategy presentation is on learning logs, and so I have this sheet and it's how to use learning logs, and it has a list of how to use them and then when you use them, and then this is an example from the textbook. This is a 7th grade example, by the way. And then this is the worksheet packet that I use. It's really cool. You put the name and then your classroom number, and then they have the how does the character feel, and in this one you write, like, I would do a big word of how they feel and then more adjectives down here to describe how they feel going based off of the pictures in the book. They also have a where is the setting, and then this you write what the setting is, and then you describe in these boxes how you know what the setting is, and then what's happening in the story. You write what's happening in the story from the illustrations, and then you use the boxes right here to describe what's happening in the story from the pictures from the book. And then that's the end of that packet. I really like this packet because it's short, sweet, and to the point, and it's really good for first graders and kindergartners who don't really know how to do those taking notes by themselves. So let's just go ahead and get started. This is the book that I'm going to be reading because I'm going to show you guys how to use the learning logs. And this is the book. It's called Me First by Helen Lester. So I'm just going to read it to you guys. Okay, let's see. Okay. Pinkerton was pink, plump, and pushy. He would do anything to be first, even if it meant bouncing off bellies, stepping on snouts, or tying tails. Me first, he cried when he had been the last in line, finished first down the slide. Me first, he cried at story time, settling on his round bottom with his big head smack in front of the book. And every day in the school trophiteria, me first rang out, and there was Pinkerton. One Saturday, Pinkerton's pig scout troop went on a day trip to the beach. Pinkerton was the first on the bus and sat in the front row. See, there he is, pushing past everybody to get on the front, to be first on the bus. He was first off the bus, first in the water, first out of the water, and first into the picnic basket. See how there's pictures. After lunch, the Pig Scouts decided to go for a hike. Off they went, with Pinkerton leading the line, of course. As the Pig Scouts marched across the sand, they heard a faint voice in the far distance. The voice called out, "Who would care for a sandwich?" Pinkerton pricked up his pointy ears. Care for a sandwich? Oh yes, me first, he thought, and he began to trot ahead of the others. Soon he heard the voice again, closer and louder this time. Who would care for a sandwich? Me first, cried Pinkerton, kicking up sand and leaving the other Pig Scouts far behind. His imagination almost burst. Peanut butter, jelly, 2 tomatoes, 7 pickles, a slab of cheese, a blob of mayo, a big smear of mustard, all for me first. Who would care for a sandwich? And then that's the sandwich he was imagining. Now, at a full gallop, Pinkerton shrieked, "Me first!" After a sandy hill he flew, and kerplop! He landed face to face with a small creature with a bump on her nose and fur on her toes. "Am I glad to see you," she cackled. I sure could hear you coming. Me first, me first, me first! I guess you really would care for a sandwich." "Oh, yes, indeed," replied Pinkerton. He jumped up and down so fast his teeth jiggled. "Good," cackled the small creature. Pinkerton waited. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. "Well?" he asked. "Well, what?" replied the small creature. "The sandwich," begging Pinkerton. "Where's the sandwich?" The small creature curtsied. "You're looking at her." She went on. I am a sandwich, and I live in the sand, and you said you would care for a sandwich, so here I am. Care for me. All Pinkerton could say was, but I, taking no notice to the sandwich continued. You said me first. You wanted to be the first to care for me. Well, congratulations. Now just come along to my sand castle. Grabbing Pinkerton firmly by the sleeve, she led him around a few bends. Before he could say, but I again, the gate to her castle closed. All right, my pink, plump, and pushy one, now you care for me. You may have the honor of being the first to powder my nose and comb my toes. Seeing no way out, Pinkerton powdered her nose and combed her toes. Next, she crowed, you may be the first to put my supper in a bucket and feed me with a shovel. Pinkerton looked around. He had no choice. He put her supper in a bucket and fed her with a shovel. Rubbing her tummy, the sandwich spoke on. Finally, after you've had the privilege of being the first to wash my dishes and sweep my castle and do my laundry and curl my hair and tuck me in, you may be the first to tell me a bedtime story. Pinkerton washed the dishes, swept the castle, did the laundry, curled the sandwich's hair, and tucked her in. The sandwich stretched and yawned loudly. Now the story. I need my story. Pinkerton was so tired he could barely speak. I don't know any stories, he whimpered. Then how about making something up? Oh, how about something concerning a pushy pig who always wanted to be first? Pinkerton sighed and began. Once upon a time there lived a pig who always wanted to be first, until one day he met a wise sandwich. Wise and beautiful, cut in the sandwich. A wise and beautiful sandwich who showed him that first was not always best. Aha, cackled the witch. She gave Pinkerton a slow, serious, and meaningful wink. Have you learned something? Oh, yes, 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 said Pinkerton. I promise I have. In that case, thanks for the care, goodbye, and good luck. She opened the gate, and Pinkerton sped off so fast he didn't even notice the delicious sandwich she held out for him. He was just in time to catch the bus. On he scooted, pink, plump, and glad to be last. The end. So after you read the stories, or the book to your students, you have them fill out the packet about how he feels, and then you use the boxes to describe how you know he feels from the illustrations. And you go on with the setting and what's happening in the story. And then after that, with learning logs, you can really do it in any way you want. You don't have to use this kind. You can literally just take blank pieces of paper, fold them in half, make a book, and have them write everything down. I just like this one because it's more guided for first graders and kindergartners, and I feel like it'll be easier for them to understand. And yeah, that's learning logs.